Before I buy a single fall decoration, I always stop and look at the room first. Not for what is missing on the shopping list, but rather for what is missing in the feeling of the space. Because in a small home, fall does not begin with pumpkin, candles, or more pillows. It begins with one quiet layer, a layer of warmth, softness, and welcome. A small home can become crowded very quickly. So, before adding anything seasonal, I like to ask one simple question. Does this room already feel warm enough to hold fall? If the answer is no, the solution is usually not more decoration. It is a softer first layer, something that makes the room feel calmer, more grounded, and more lived in. When I look at a room like this, I do not begin by judging the furniture. I begin by reading the atmosphere. Where does the room feel cold? Where does it feel unfinished? Where could the eye rest more comfortably? This is what makes the video feels less like a slideshow and more like a design conversation. We are not just looking for pretty rooms. We are learning how to improve it. The sofa is often the first place where fall can be felt. Not because it needs many pillows, but because it is where the body rests. For a small room, I would choose one or two warmer textures. Maybe a heavier linen, a soft wool, a quiet velvet, or a cushion in deeper neutral tone. The goal is not to decorate the sofa. The goal is to make it feel more inviting. The floor carries more visual weight than many people realize, especially in a small home. If the rug feels too thin, too pale, or too busy, the room can feel unsettled even when the furniture is beautiful. For fall, I would look for a floor layer that feels grounded. Not dark and heavy, but warm enough to make the room feel settled. Curtains can quietly change the season of the room. For fall, I do not want the room to feel closed or dark. I want the light to feel softer. A warmer fabric, a slightly heavier drape, or a softer neutral shade can make the whole room feel more peaceful. This is a small change, but in a small home, small changes are often the most powerful. Before I add seasonal decor, I always look at the lamps because fall is not only about how a room looks during the day, it is also about how it feels in the evening. A small home feels more refined when the light is lower, softer, or closer to where people actually sit. One gentle lamp can sometimes do more than 5 decorative objects. An empty corner does not always need to be filled. This is very important in a small home. Sometimes, the most elegant choice is not to add more. It is to give the space one quiet purpose. A reading chair, a small table, a basket with texture, or simply enough breathing room for the room to feel calm. For fall, I would not rush straight into orange. Orange can be beautiful, but in a small home, it can also become too loud very quickly. I would begin with deeper neutrals: warm beige, soft brown, muted olive, cream, aged gold, and maybe a small touch of rust, only if the room can handle it. This kind of palette feels seasonal without feeling themed. The difference does not have to be dramatic. In fact, I think the most refined fall rooms are often the quietest ones. The room still feels like itself. It simply feels warmer, softer, and more ready for the slower days at home. That is the kind of fall layer I love the most. It does not shout, it settles the room. I think this matters even more as we get older. We do not always want a home that looks newly decorated. We want a home that feels thoughtful, a place where comfort and beauty can live together, a place that feels calm when the day becomes busy, a place that welcomes the season without losing its own character. So, before buying any fall decor, I would begin here with the first layer, the layer of warmth, texture, light, and softness that makes a small home feel cared for. Because a refined fall home is not created by adding more things, it is created by noticing what the room is quietly asking for. And sometimes, the most beautiful fall feeling begins with restraint. If you enjoy calm, refined decorating ideas for small homes, I would love to have you here again. You can like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share in the comments which first fall layer your home needs most this season. Is it softer light, warmer texture, a calmer color palette, or simply a little more breathing room?